Look at my Star Trek toys!
What's up, everybody? Holy moly, do we have some exciting breaking Playmates news out there for you? Because, Mike, are you ready for this?
Yeah, you woke me up at 10 o'clock in the morning for this.
9:30 in the morning. I'm like, we gotta go. We gotta go because we have pictures from the 2023 Toy Fair in London. And these pictures show the display from Playmates Toys, which shows what appears to be the 2023 Series 2 line of figures. Now, they've not been confirmed by Playmates. I have reached out for comment, haven't heard anything back. But it's fairly clear that this is what's going to happen. Now, I got to warn you, Mike. These pictures are real blurry because this is from an area of Toy Fair where pictures were not allowed. So these are illicit. I don't know the provenance of the main picture here, but it was discovered, at least the first person who clued me into it was our good friend JD at JD Makes. We're going to link his YouTube channel down below. He also does reviews and customs. Definitely check out his stuff, JD Makes, here on the YouTube, because he's always got the first info and the best info. So we are grateful to him for cluing us in that this was going to happen. So again, unconfirmed by Playmates. We do not know whether or not what we're about to see, very small and very pixel. Everybody be prepared. It's going to be Pixel Bus, but this is the best we have. We do not know if these are prototypes. We do not know if these are officially going to be released or this is what they think they're going to do now. We do not know when they are going to be released. All of these questions have been asked of Playmates, but they've been a little bit radio silent of late. So as soon as we hear back and get more information directly from them, we will be right back here with another video to give you as much information as we have. Are you excited, Mike?
I'm super excited. There is no proof, though, after our Geekly, which will air next week, we looked at AI, Keith. Is it possible that these are AI generated?
I think it's very unlikely.
Okay, great. Then I'm pumped.
So I think this is real. If it's not, we will retract, but I'm pretty sure this is legit. Okay. So I think, Mike, with no further ado, let's take a look at what Playmates is going to bring us in their 2023 Wave 2 line. I can't wait. Again, Pixel Bus, but I'm pretty darn sure you asked for it, you got it. That is going to be a next generation era Worf.
Marshmallow Worf.
Marshmallow Worf. Again, like I said, I have done everything I can in Photoshop to improve the quality of these pictures, but unlike on every procedural drama you've ever seen ever, you can't just say enhance and then it becomes great.
You know, Keith, for work, I do have the Topaz AI upscale generator. I could give him a pass through, but I don't know.
There's not enough pixels. I did Smart Sharpen, and that's there's not much for pixels here. But I think it's very clearly we can at least tell what it is. And that is a next-gen era Worf, which is going to fit in nicely with the Series 1 Picard and Riker that we got.
The Riker, if I recall, the Riker we were okay with, but Picard we really dug.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm excited about the Worf. You know, as somebody who owns the bridge set, the original bridge set, it's great to now have 3 characters who can sit down.
Yeah.
Even though Worf stands, but you know, maybe I'll have him at con just for fun, or at at Tactical just for fun, other way around. Anyway, all right, so that's coming. We can also see while we're looking at it that they're not using the stands that come with the figures. These are other stands. I don't know what's going. I think they're all being held in with some sort of a clamp. Again, it's really hard to tell from the super small pictures here.
Where is the Toy Fair this year? It's in London.
London.
Yeah.
It is in London right this very minute. I think they're finishing up today. So
Keith, we got to get those subs up so we can get ourselves there next year for 2024.
To London?
Well, wherever they have it. It used to be in New York.
We could go to New York. That we could do. We're not flying to London.
We could fly to London.
I mean, technically, I got to get my passport renewed. Anyway, enough of this.
Patreon.com/KNM.
Nobody
Okay.
cares.
All right.
They want to know the next figure.
All
the
right.
next figure is Geordi. We're going to get a Geordi in Series 2. Again, hard to tell what's going on there, but that's very clearly a Geordi.
Is it?
Yes.
Can you see the visor? I also should mention I don't have my glasses on, so I don't really see much of anything.
So it's. I didn't think you might want your glasses before we go on air.
It snuck up on me.
Just because I texted you at night, because there's a picture circulating earlier that was even worse than this. I'm like, we got to wait for at least something a little bit better, but once it comes out, we got to go right in. Yeah. So here we are, first thing in the morning. But that to me, that's very clearly a Geordi. So also super exciting. This will be our first in the 2023 or the new series that we're going to get the gold engineering security uniform. Certainly, it doesn't seem like it's that important unless you're a customizer, and there are a whole mess of customizers out there who have already started working with the 2022-2023 line, and this is going to open up a whole bunch of doors for customization. Okay, so now we have our Geordi, we have Worf, we have Geordi. It's very exciting. Who's next? I'll tell you who's next. It is our first figure from a Star Trek series they have never, ever done a figure from, and it's Strange New Worlds. We're going to get a Strange New Worlds Spock.
Oh, our second Spock in the new wave.
Our second Spock in the new wave. However, this is a different Spock. This is the Strange New World Spock. Exciting. I think it's great. It's a series that I still have not started yet because I'm still catching up on Disco, but I'm excited to. I know it is beloved. We saw some of him on the Discovery show, so I think it's going to be exciting. I know a lot of folks are going to be pumped for the new Strange New World figures. And for me personally, I love the Strange New World uniforms, where they were able to keep the basic feel of the original series uniforms with doing a contemporary update. So it looks better, it looks higher quality, but without losing the feel of it. So I'm really curious to, when I watch that show, to see whether or not they were able to accomplish that in all the rest of the design of the show. But certainly, this is an exciting new figure to have. It's really interesting to see where their decision-making is in what series to draw from and what characters to use. So clearly, they've decided to represent the new series in this new line. So that's cool. Yeah. But what's next is another new series for the new line, but a figure like the Worf and like the Geordi that they did previously. But this one was kind of hard to get. It's the Silver 7 of 9, which is certainly very exciting. It's great to have a 7, obviously wildly popular character. This uniform was wildly popular for wildly obvious reasons. However, she only wore it once because she preferred to breathe. But this is a new updated version of this figure, which was the Target exclusive Silver 7 of 9, which is, see right here, there's the Target exclusive 7 of 9 there in her silver catsuit. Woof! But this one is a little bit harder to get your hands on, not as hard as some of the other 7 of 9s, but certainly a figure that I'm glad to see. I mean, personally, I would have loved to have seen, the 7 of 9 that we see more often on the show in her maroon or whatever. But obviously, for obvious reasons, the silver one's pretty popular.
Yeah, that was a mark for marketing decision.
Yes, mark for marketing. I get it. I'm with you. I'm going to buy the figure. Don't worry.
Sold.
Sold. 100% sold. But certainly exciting to have. And, it's a nice nod to this figure, which is a favorite of a lot of different people. And I'm excited to have a 7 with articulation because this was in the later Warp Factor series. And this 7 has almost no articulation whatsoever. She can
and
turn her arms.
My little Star Trek shelf is a sausage party currently.
Yeah.
Only Michelle Bachmann up there is.
Jesus Christ.
It's rocking. So
you're such a mess.
I can't wait for 7.
Like no elbows, no knees, no nothing, and and you can tell from the design standpoint, like, all right, do we want her to be able to move and function or do anything, or do we want her to be super sexy? And we know exactly where they landed on that. So I hope that moving forward, she will be able to sit and walk and drink a cup of coffee. But anyway, I think that's a figure I'm very excited about. So excited to see that moving forward. And we, again, thanks to our friend JD, caught something perhaps about the packaging we're going to talk about at the end. But before we do that, let's look at our next figure from the 2023 line. That is Q in
now that
Judge's
I recognize.
robes, which is interesting because they also did a Q in Judge's robes in the original line. And so, Q, I think, is a very important figure. He's a very popular figure. We saw him in season 2 of Picard. And it's interesting to see him in the Judge's robes as opposed to in the Starfleet uniform or any of the 10,000 other things that he wore. And he only wore the Judge's robes in the series premiere and finale of Next Gen, but it is of course, an iconic look. So that's interesting that they're giving us Q in robes. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see it better, right? And to get it into my hands and get a sense of like what the robes, because in the earlier line, we had some of that plastic that was a little bit more malleable. Are we going to get the robes in the slightly more malleable plastic? As opposed to the original figure was in very hard plastic. I know I have to wake up. So I'm very excited to get that and see it and see what they're able to do with articulation under those big robes. So lots of construction questions, lots more questions there. But before, and I know you're like, get on with it. So let us go forward and look at the last figure pictured in the display from 2023 Toy Fair, and that is Captain Pike. This is the Anson Mount Strange New World Captain Pike figure. I feel this one was obvious. The Captain Pike character and Anson Mount's performance in it is very popular. He's great. And I think is universally loved for that. And we definitely needed that figure. So everything I said about the Spock figure from Strange New World applies here. Obviously for this figure, and we don't know based on the Pixel Bus picture here, Mike, what is the most important part of Anson Mount's Captain Pike?
His awesome salt and pepper hair.
Yes, his silver fox, sweet hair. Yeah. One of us on the show here has a silver fox, sweet hair, and one of us is just me. It is really important to get that hair right. So hopefully when Playmates makes the official announcement, we'll be able to see if they got that right. And I'm sure they've had a meeting or two about getting that right. So now let's take a look at the whole display from Playmates. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Gotta say, I don't care how many meetings. And I'm excited about it. Playmates, I can't wait till you send us our review copies. However, you know what I'm really waiting for, Keith, and you know what I mean.
What's that?
I wait until someone that we've already showed on the custom channel gets their hands on it and does the full hair resculpt repaint, because then we're going to get the true highlights.
If Playmates doesn't get it right, Jesse Tizio will. So if it doesn't get it right, we're going to have to reach out and commission some fixing that hair. So very cool. Let's look at the whole display from Toy Fair 2023, so you can get a sense of how these were placed in the booth and see what else they put there. Sure, and you can hear me stalling while Mike tries to pull it up.
You're doing a great job.
I'm doing an amazing job. So what's interesting about the display in the 2023 Toy Fair is there's no Playmates branding on the display that they showed here, but it's very obviously Playmates because the entire 2022 line is in the display there. It's just set up with the Star Trek universe display there. So here is what it looks like in the display. And you can see you have the 2022 line, the full figure line, as well as the phaser and ship below. And in the middle there are the 2023 line or prototypes for the 2023 line. We don't really know yet. So if Playmates makes an announcement, here's our new line, and it's completely different, it's probably because they're just showing prototypes here. The other thing we don't see in this is a new line, another ship, another prop, another whatever. So we don't see any of that yet. They didn't have any of the Prodigy figures here, which I'm surprised by. So I don't really know what's going on. They might have
gone back to the drawing board, or they're still... I mean, we did get that cool website reveal of the Prodigy toys, so...
Yeah, I mean, the Prodigy figures are supposed to be coming out like TikTok soon. So hopefully we're going to get some comment. What do you smell there?
I smell maybe a delay, Keith.
It's possible. It's possible we might have a delay, which might be why they've got a little radio silent. Who knows? But
I know in the beginning, remember you were getting, it was like those emails were coming hot and heavy, but subsequently
it got quiet. It got quiet over at Playmates. So it's possible. But
or they watched a video.
Or they watched a video and like, oh, hard no with these idiots, which is a completely reasonable.
Yeah, can't blame them.
So yeah, it's tough to say what their plan is about that. Well, hopefully we'll hear back. We sent a million questions, but because we hadn't heard anything for a while, and because we haven't seen these Prodigy figures released yet, people were starting to get a little nervous, right? Are they going to move forward at all? Like, what's going on? This gives me some hope that they are going to continue with the... I'm up! That they are going to continue with the line.
It just seems like their strategy is not retail, or at least not big box retail. Because like we've said, there's been no... I won't go back into that whole diatribe, but I've been really disappointed by their retail rollout and especially their kind of shelf space marketing. So I guess they're doing well gangbusters online.
Well, but look, retail shelf space is really hard to acquire and really expensive to acquire. A lot of times you have to pay Walmart to be in that space. And, you know, with the line just starting out, they might not have the budget to pay Walmart to give them good shelf space, or Target or whatever. So I don't know. We'll see. I have asked about all of that as well. But I have one last thing.
Okay.
Well,
hold on. We didn't see the second one there.
Oh, see the other. Yeah. So here's where you can see, and this is what I found interesting, right? Because they've got the whole display there. There's no Playmates branding anywhere on it.
Huh. Yeah.
It's just the STU branding. So I'm really not sure what the. I have questions. Hopefully we'll get answers for you. However, lastly, I'm going to leave you with one thing about packaging and why people had suspected we might be getting that 7 even before we saw this picture. And that was a good catch from our good friend JD. JD makes on a Playmates reel. They did a little advertisement thing about the original line, but look at the arrow he put in that little corner there. What do you see there?
Oh, I see a Voyager logo.
You see a Voyager logo and a Voyager box and package, which certainly leads me to believe that they're going to release the 7 of 9 in retro packaging, much like they did before. So other things we can learn about this little package they have here. I'm assuming this is also a prototype. But this is a much more rectangular package, more similar to the original packaging. So I wonder if they decided to simplify a little bit moving forward with the cutouts, and who knows how that handled shipping and such. So I'm assuming from this that they are giving us a clue that we will continue with our retro packaging for the figures moving forward, at least in North America, because that's what they did now. So I think that's exciting.
Yeah,
that should be really fun. But as I showed before, Silver 7 of 9 came in the Warp Factor packaging, not in the original Star Trek Voyager packaging. So it will be a slightly different look for the replacement of this figure. But that's okay. I'm just excited that they're moving forward, and I think the selections in this line make sense commercially. Obviously, are there other figures that I would like to see? About 1 million. We haven't. It doesn't look like we're going to have Deep Space Nine represented yet. And I would really love them to start, putting out the Deep Space Nine. Nothing from Lower Decks yet. I don't. They have to figure out how they're going to represent the animated figures as a figure, but they did it with Prodigy, so I'm sure they could do that. I know that would probably sell pretty well. I know there's a Janeway figure coming up, so we're going to have two. We're going to have two from every series except for Deep Space Nine, right? 2 from Voyager, 2 from the original series, 4 from. We don't have anything from the original series. We have the movie Kirk and the movie Spock. So I know people will be clamoring for that. I want a Cisco, I want a Kira, I want a Dax.
I want to go to the toy fair. That's really where I'm stuck. But... hey, question out there. Did anybody, if this video kind of makes its way into your feed via algorithm, was anybody at the toy fair? Does anybody work with a retail partner? Does anybody have some inside info they want to, or just got eyes on and want to share their experiences? You can hit us down in the comments below, or you can send an email to Keith directly at lookatmystartrektoys@gmail.com. You can be anonymous. We can stick your name on there. You can come on the show and talk to us, whatever you want to do. But if you were there or know someone who was, or do you have some more clandestine pictures, send them our way. That's about it. Also, you can support the show by giving a like or hitting the notification bell. We appreciate you.
And to subscribe. And you can check out, if you've never seen us, we do a weekly show about Star Trek toys, about the Playmates line, the original line and customs based on it, the contemporary line. There's a huge playlist below that you can check out. Mike and I also are reviewing Deep Space Nine episode by episode. You can check out the other playlist there. And we have a show called K&M Geekly where we just talk about, geek stuff. And we're doing a play along of Star Trek something.
The Next Generation, A Final Unity.
A Final Unity, the CD-ROM game. So check all of that out in your feed if you haven't. And also acknowledging, just putting right here, 5 minutes after this episode drops, there will be great pictures of all of these figures coming out. So, hey, sometimes it just happens that way. But thank you so much for watching. We will see you back with all of our regular nonsense. The minute we hear back from Playmates, we'll have another video back up. The minute they announce these officially, we'll do another video. Till then, this has been
Look at my Star Trek toys!